And welcome back to the channel. You are watching A Scholar Online, the channel that is all about learning. In this video, I want to take some time to dig deeper into the whole idea of drop shipping and to help you make an informed decision if it is the type of business that you want to get into. So in this video, I'm going to give you all the facts on top of the table so that you can make a decision for yourself whether or not you should be going into the dropshipping business, specifically if you are based in Africa. There was a question on Quora that I answered this week. Somebody asked, can I dropship to Tanzania using Shopify? And I gave them some of these facts that I'm going to be discussing in this video today. Before you start dropshipping, especially if you're based in Africa, there's a couple of things that you need to know. You cannot just follow the tutorials that you see on YouTube that are based out of the United States or other developed countries, because they are not always going to be applicable if you are based in Africa. The first important thing that is different about being based in Africa is that in Africa we do not get e-packet. E-packet is a reliable method of shipping items from China, specifically for e-commerce, hence it's called e-packet. And it allows for faster deliveries and tracking of your items. If you're dropshipping in South Africa, specifically, we do not get e-packet, which means you have to use the old traditional method of shipping, which means they're going to post your items in the mail. And that takes a long time to arrive, and it's not always reliable. Sometimes your items do not arrive at all. If they do arrive, they will arrive in about between a month and 3 months, and it depends on which shop you're buying from and what method they're using. So you need to be aware of this before you start your store, that your clients are well aware of how long it's going to take for the items to arrive. The second thing is the payment methods usually advertised by the other YouTubers do not work in South Africa or Africa. You are limited in the payment methods that you can use. So please do a little bit of investigation there and find that your clients are going to be able to use like PayPal, for example. I think that's one of the most common ones that is applicable in Africa. But then the clients that you sell to who are going to buy from your store might not have PayPal. Okay, so you need to be aware of these things before you start an e-commerce dropshipping store in Africa. The second thing that I want to discuss and spend a little bit more time discussing is your dropshipping maths. Okay, how much money do you need to start a dropshipping business? A lot of the online videos make it look like you can just start a dropshipping business for nothing because you don't have to keep stock. All you need is a hosting account. It doesn't work like that. If you watch my previous video of creating a Google Merchant AdWords account for your e-commerce business, you do have to spend a little bit of money on marketing, and marketing costs are going to be the majority of the money that you spend in your dropshipping or e-commerce store, because the way you're going to drive traffic to your store is going to be through advertising. So the two important things you need to have in place is a good product, number one. The second important thing is marketing. You need to get these two things right to even have a successful store: marketing and the right product. Now let's go through the maths and figure out exactly how much money you are going to be making if you start a dropshipping business. The first line that I've got here is the revenue. Okay, I've made a couple of assumptions here, and this revenue highly depends on the marketing. Okay, if you do not have this line item and spend money on marketing, you are not going to be making this revenue. So if you made this zero, this revenue would be zero guaranteed. Okay, assuming we are going to be spending 3,000 South African rands on marketing. Okay, you can almost rule of thumb guess that, and this is assuming you're selling the right product, that you're almost going to make a double in revenue what you are spending on marketing. And Google has got this figured out. I don't know how they do this, but depending on my Google marketing budget, I almost always sell just about double to three times. Between double to three times the amount of money I spend on marketing is the amount of sales I'm going to make in my store. And I've done multiple stores, and Google does this very well. They calculate, they almost sort of put you in a box and say, if you're going to be spending this much money on us, we're going to optimize your ads in such a way that you're only going to sell this much. And you're going to sell that consistently until you increase your marketing budget, and then you're going to sell more, and it's almost always guaranteed that it will be about 2 to 3 times what you spend on marketing is the revenue you're going to be making in your store. And that is assuming you're selling the right product that obviously has got a market out there. So you're going to have a revenue, okay? You're going to have money that you need to spend on development costs. And assuming you are following our tutorials, this is a zero, but it's not always zero for everybody. So you need to have a line item for paying your developer. And this goes for Shopify and WooCommerce, okay? WooCommerce, definitely you might need a developer because it has a steeper learning curve. But if you build your store on Shopify, you might think, oh no, I can do this myself. But I highly recommend you still get a developer if you're doing this for the first time, because there's a couple of things you're going to miss that you don't know that a developer can help you. The second thing is hosting, okay? Now, if you're hosting on Shopify, you're going to be paying that $28 a month that they charge you for Shopify, and then it includes everything, which means they host your store for you. And if you're going to host yourself on WooCommerce, this is where you can save a lot of money, because on WooCommerce, you're only going to pay once hosting account. And I've got, I've made videos about this, and you can look at the description below. I will link for you where you can go get hosting for 89 Rand a month, guaranteed, and you'll get a free domain and everything. And you can build your WooCommerce store there and only pay this much as opposed to the 33 Rand of Shopify. $33. But if you still want to use Shopify, well, then you got to include this line item. I know they'll say $28, but you have to include value-added tax. So I'm talking about the amount of money you're actually going to pay. It works out to about $33, including value-added tax. On Shopify, there's a lot of plugins that you need, okay? Your store out of the box is not going to look attractive. You're going to need to add plugins for chatting, for social proof, blah, blah, blah. All these things just to make your store look reasonable. If you add all these plugin costs, they come up to about $30 a month. On WooCommerce, you can get pretty much the same plugins for free. This is where the marketing comes in, okay? All of this works out to about 1,000 rands a month. So this is nothing, okay? Your biggest cost is going to be your Google advertising cost. And have a look at the video we did last week where we discussed how to create your own Google merchant account. You will need to spend money on advertising to drive traffic to your store. All right. So assuming these numbers are all right, the cost of product, this is how much you're buying the product for. If you're buying the product for about 5,000 Rand a month, and you spend all of this, you're only making on a Shopify store about 1,000 Rand a month. Okay. And on a WooCommerce store, maybe double that, because you're not spending all this hosting, $33 and all of these. So drop shipping can be profitable. Okay, but don't expect to be making millions and six-figure dropshipping stores out of the box. Okay, it's not going to be a lot of money, but it's a good foundation to start building on and start increasing. Now that we have this, we can start to optimize and figure out where to put more money to make more money, right? There's a couple of things you can do to increase this profitability. The first thing that I recommend to increase the sales in your store, okay, is try and keep local stock, okay? If you can pre-order items, especially if you can start with a one-item store, right? And you can pre-order items and keep local stock in your country so that you can ship the items faster, you are going to get more sales. Generally speaking, you will get more people buying from your store. The second thing I recommend for increasing your drop shipping and numbers, over and above trying to keep local stock, increasing the marketing budget, okay? This number here that we've put it at 300 Rand, and I'm only now referring to Google marketing for now, okay? You can market on Facebook, you can market on Instagram, there's many places that you can market. And what you choose depends a lot on the kind of product you're selling, okay? If you are selling specific items like watches, for example, our store is a watch store. If you're selling like that, I would recommend you go for Google marketing. Google marketing actually gives you better return for your money if you're selling items that people generally buy on a normal day-to-day basis. But if you're selling items like, items that sort of that's gonna, like t-shirts, things that's gonna create impulse selling, like something that somebody would see the ad and they're not really planning on buying it, and then but your t-shirt is so attractive, it's amazing, it's like, oh my gosh, look at that, it's Jon Snow on the t-shirt, and then they're gonna sort of impulse buy. Then you want to do that on Facebook, because impulse selling best works with Facebook, because people are on Facebook doing their normal day-to-day stuff, and then they're like, oh my gosh, look at that t-shirt, where can I get that? And then they want to go buy it. They're not planning on buying it, but you're going to attract them to buy it. So I would use Facebook for that. So it depends on what you're selling. If somebody was going to buy a watch anyway, and they need a watch, and they want to decide, okay, I need to go Google for a watch, where can I get the cheapest watch? They will go and look for it on Google, and then you can sell there. So increasing this budget can highly, this number, pushing this number up will push that number up, all right? The last thing that you can do to increase your sales is you need to do social media and digital marketing. You need to do it well, okay? And this is something you can do for free. And I'm going to spend a couple of tutorials on this in the future, how to increase your following on social media and get engagement in those platforms, because your tribe, as I call it, are the people that are going to buy from you. So you need to make your tribe bigger, okay, on social media. So create a Facebook account, create an Instagram account, create a Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever group for all these platforms. You've got TikTok, and TikTok can be very useful as well. Create accounts on all these platforms and start increasing your following on all these platforms. Share on a regular basis. If you're selling watches, share nice stuff about watches, jokes, pictures, and then start increasing your following there, because your clients are going to come from those accounts. And don't just create those social media accounts for the sake of pushing marketing ads at people, so you create an account and you grow it via paid marketing, and then all people see on there is just adverts. No, make the group useful, okay? Make people want to follow you because you're sharing useful content and useful information. So if you're selling watches, for example, you can find nice topics and blogs and nice things to share around watches, so that people follow you generally because they're generally interested in the content that you're sharing regularly. Quotations, nice articles, nice stories, and then grow your following that way. And then every now and then you put up a sales advert, obviously, that takes people back to your store. You will get generally engaged marketing, and generally engaged audience, which will buy from your store. And then a lot of people, and this has never worked for me, but a lot of people recommend influence marketing, okay? Influence marketing is finding a person that's an influencer in your industry, in your country, and getting them to wear your watches and getting them to sort of talk about it on your group. And there's a lot of ways you can do this influence marketing. You can do what we call, create like a program where, affiliate marketing program for your store. Okay, and there's apps you can use for this, and maybe we'll discuss this in another tutorial. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do this. But affiliate marketing really is a profitable way of starting to grow your sales by using influencers. So you get a couple of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 influencers you talk to, and you're like, hey guys, you can, if you talk about my watch in your channel or whatever, and if you sell like 2, 3 watches, I'll give you like 5% of the profit from that. And if they've got a high enough following and your product is attractive enough, you don't even have to pay the influencer. They will do it for free. So guys, thank you for watching, and stay tuned and let me know what you're doing to drive sales in your dropshipping store.